I would request Samrat Sengupta ji to kindly enlighten us as to what his company is doing and how the energy requirement of the country will be met through conventional sources of energy and non-conventional sources of energy. If you can throw some light, and what is his perception about net zero concept which is being floated globally, and somehow it is going to be legally binding on us also, even though India has not committed anything. It is all voluntary basis. But let us see how best we can achieve that goal of net zero. So I would request Sengupta ji to kindly throw some light on this issue.
Thank you, sir. Hope I am this one. Yeah, this side Samrat Sengupta. I represent EKI Energy Services Limited. This is a company who deals on carbon offsets, on carbon credit on a global market, and we are one of the largest by volume of carbon offset get dealt in voluntary carbon market globally. Take a pride to say that from an Indian startup which has started business in 2008, we have now operation in 40 countries. 40 plus countries. So that's a small intro where I belongs from. Talking about the whole debate around climate change or anthropogenical climate change, human-induced climate change, and the concept of net zero. I like to mention that net zero is a situation when the human-induced emission will come to a minimum level which is equivalent to the global environmental absorption capacity of those polluting gases. It is related to the global emission, not pertaining to the local emission attributes. So obviously the 6 or 7 most prominent global warming potential, having global warming potential, those gases are addressed to. So where from this net zero come in? By IPCC, Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change, almost a similar acronym of today's event. So that's a global scientific body who done the study, and they have came out that the amount of space or carbon budget that is left with us to pollute if we do not achieve a net zero condition by 2050, that beyond that will be not add on any extra pollution into the atmosphere, net pollution into the atmosphere, then there is a possibility that the global warming we can arrest within 2 degrees centigrade average warming. At this moment, we are taking pre-industrial area as the baseline. At this moment, we are in a warming situation of 1.1 degree. And the impact it is having on through extreme climatic events, through all sorts of calamities, we are experiencing that. We are experiencing that in every scenario. Earlier, in the climate debate, it was always been felt that the North was in a mind that with their money and technology power, they can shield themselves out of this impact, but now it is not so. So, it is an offshoot of that technical report of IPCC, which has created this net zero concept. Now, coming from earlier, the UNFCCC, United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change, was formed on a understanding of common but differentiated responsibility. It always gives onus of the northern countries who has polluted the maximum who was the cause of that maximum pollutions in the global environment, to take the first ownership. But in the Paris Agreement era, post Kyoto, from 2015 onwards, we have seen that this differentiated responsibility has gone into the backstage, and the onus of act has been distributed among everyone, though it is a bottom-up approach where it has not been dictated by any international or multilateral bodies like UN. It has been asked by every country to put forward their own commitment. So on that aspects, India has said that 2070 will be our commitment, being a developing country whose per capita energy consumption or per capita emission footprints is one of the lowest among G20 or one of the lowest even at the rapidly developing nations. On that terminology, from very beginning on the UN deliberation, India has kept this per capita point of contention, and they have maintained it. So this is my short description or where from this net zero is coming on. On the energy utilization aspects, yes, I just want, it is everybody understands, you are from the fossil fuel industries background, that for last 200 years we have been hosted by a technology been developed primarily to extract and transfer or transit energy from a concentrated source like fossil. And the era of climate, which everybody understood that there is a problem, we are trying still the shortcut way. We are doing energy transition, not transformation. And that creates that end-use electrification is the way how to adopt the same technology with renewable, which is a dilute form of energy. So the efforts is still half-hearted to save our future generation or even our present generation. We need to be more pragmatic and do full-hearted efforts in transformation, not transition. Thank you, sir.
Dr. Sengupta, thank you very much for giving an overview of your company as also of the net zero, what is happening, and the old concept and the principle which used to be there in the United Nations being followed was regarding common but differentiated responsibility. But there is a shift from that as far as climate change issues are concerned. Because now they are thinking, all right, your population is too much, so your denominator is high, so per capita generation of CO2 is less. So they are not buying this argument from the Indian side. And they want that on voluntary basis you come out and give your commitment. What is your plan of reduction of global warming gases? So in that context, India has said by 2070 they will be able to achieve that target. So let us see how it goes on, even though government is trying to put emphasis on use of energy through renewable energy sources, solar, wind, etc. So it's a good move in that direction.